Oh, it was Power here with the review of the DX Ridewatch Set Volume 2. You people might be wondering, Power, I don't think you can count because this is number 2, not number 1. You know, the set, well, as I alluded to the unboxing beforehand, no one's gonna like the way I'm covering these because I'm actually gonna go, because if you haven't tell, I've been covering these backwards because that's how they were released. And I think it's really dumb with these sets that they reversed it back into chronological order. Because if I did that, then the order would have been thrown off. Because then it's like after Hypercopto, then I will be covering Ultimate Form through Survive Form. So to make things more chronological for myself, I'm covering these entirely backwards, aka I'm covering them via how they're numbered on the track, or their track is numbered. So here's DX Ridewatch Set Volume 2. I don't understand why they call it that. Armor time, obviously this one's blue. The ride watches this feature include Hibiki Armed Hibiki, Boyd King form, and Fi's Blaster form. So as you can see, AD 2003 through AD 2005. Ridewatch Set Volume 2. And then the 3 final forms that mostly, I think Fi's Blaster is in the lead of this one, but that's basically it. This includes 9 LR44s. That's amazing. Let's get straight into this. I don't know how I do these. Anyone that's interested in the packaging, it's literally just these. It's literally just the normal ride watch packaging extended. So we'll get to a jump cut. Here we have the 3 ride watches. Yeah. So obviously this, as we already concluded, this set includes the 3 whatevers. So let's just start from the one that we left off of. So here's Armed Hibiki, and his color scheme is actually pretty neat. There's this nice crimson red that's mostly present throughout these 2 sets, but I want to say it's actually kind of purplish too. There's like this, I don't know what color it is specifically, but I think it's actually unique. If I look back, yeah, because comparing Hibiki to the other ones that are red, Hibiki's is more like purplish, so I appreciate that, and this base is the same. QR code for Butaba Gamba, and he is 113. And as you can see here, Hibiki's rider symbol in 2005 in the yellow tint, and the full face of Hibiki. So obviously, because this is his final form, let's take a look at the original Hibiki ride watch. I don't remember how I did these exactly, but obviously this is more of a blue tint, this is more of a yellow tint. The face, I don't want to say is more rider-esque because I don't know how to describe it, and obviously different tracks. So let's hold the tab. Here's his battery cover. And start with the sounds. Next we have Blade King form, which it's in the basic silver base, but it's secondary color in this translucent gold. Is pretty neat. Gamba QR code. He is 114. As you can see, Blaze Rider symbol 2014. Because this is like translucent gold, you can't really see the yellow tint. And then Blade King forms face. So comparing to the original Blade, or Ace form specifically. There we go. I just quickly want to do this just to compare the colors. Okay, yeah, they're different. But essentially, like, I think if they did a Jack form, this is what I probably would have liked. Old tip and such, but I'm sorry for wasting your guys' time. We need to take this off anyway, because here is the battery cover of Blade King form. Last but not least, we have Fi's Blaster. Fi's Blaster is pretty interesting because he's actually in a bright red base with a very clear white opaque secondary color. And obviously this one is actually kind of the hardest, like from far away and on camera. It doesn't look like it's injected with glitter, but it is. QR code for Gamba 115. Rider symbol 2003. His face, which is basically the same as his normal one, as it's just that he's more outlined in red and he's not glowing, which I just realized that's the case for Fi's here. Obviously, like, I always show the backs just to show people that they don't have the same track. Because, you know, some people might be unaware about that. Battery cover. Tab pulled. So. Finally, we can get this over with in 9 minutes. This is so sad. Gates equality. This feels off because I am off. I don't know. So obviously we have arms scrolling through, and then obviously we end off with Finn. And one thing I do want to note with these 6 Ultimate Form Ridewatch is that most of them take cues, like musical cues, from their respective series, and I just had to really like respect that. I think that's the only thing they did to make them consider premium. So. So we get the Kishi Kakse Time Burst. I still don't know what Kishi Kakse is. But it's basically the thing Hibiki calls out to his armed sword, before he, does his finisher. And I think it's really cool. I know we're covering 3 ride watches, but we have to keep consistency, and I have to have an excuse of switching this out. I don't know, I like the way he says it. It's just really powerful. Moving on. Obviously, we gotta have King and King. I'm surprised that they didn't, I'm surprised. I don't remember with Zi-O if they actually did put any relation with, Zi-O and, King form. They did it in, the 0.5s, but no. I have to note that I think King form is the only track, or the only form that's programmed to actually scroll its name through completely and end off in the fin, which I think is kind of sad, but hey, it makes sense. And his transformation, I actually like it more. Actually hearing it, from toy reviews, I didn't like it as much, but I actually like hearing the background music. It's neat. So we get the Royal Straight time break. Royal Straight coming from the Royal Straight Flush, which is Blade's finisher of where all the cards summon, and he's supposed to run through all of them, but now the games either make him fly through the cards, or they make him shoot through the cards. If I had to be honest, I really wish we got more Blade cards. Blade Red watches. Like, the Jack forms for Blade and Garen, and then obviously I would have liked the Langle. And Wild Callus, probably. Just because I really want to, honestly, just because, Blade, they all have unique finishers. Langle could have said, Blizzard. And I'm not sure about Jack form or Wild Callus, but don't worry, guys, we're almost done. We're 6 minutes in, so we're technically 15 minutes in. I'm keeping you guys in this prison. as you can like see with Fies, like Fies has like a whole introduction, which is really cool, and like basically its music cues mostly come from the people with no name, which I find amusing. But yeah, that's what I meant by like they're trying to emphasize why you should have, or why it's premium. So we get the blaster time burst. I'm not sure why, honestly. I don't know any of Fize's finishers that have blaster. I'll explain my opinions later. We always have to sit through here. I wonder why it defaults to pink right away. I understand because of Zi-O, but it's like, why can't it just be rainbow? 9 minutes and we're done. See, so what I was thinking about is that, okay, so like for one set I'll go with this mode, and one side I go with this mode. No, we're not doing that. That's fun. I just want to put it in the wrong way. Then for Fize, we have to change him out. Yippee! We can't move on from this. So that's generally it for this entire set. I'm not gonna really go into recommendations or my like whether or not you should get the set, because honestly the whole thing is just like, if you've already got the rest of the retail Ultimate Form Ride watches, then yeah, of course you should pick these up. But honestly, because these two sets come as one, I'm not gonna go into full, but I'm just gonna go into like my opinions on each of them. And that is well, I do like them sound wise. This trio is like this selection of the trio, they're probably like really low on my favorite ultimate forms, if I had to be honest. Like, yeah, Blade King form had like a good like story relevance and such, but like design wise, these three are probably really low. Oh, these two are. Fi's Blaster, I'm just not really a big fan of in general. I like Armed Hibiki, but it really doesn't belong in Hibiki. It's too Kamen Rider-esque. I know that's really stupid, but you know, I'm a stickler towards how Hibiki was supposed to be, but so I like the way Armed Hibiki got incorporated in the movie because that's the story I prefer of Armed Hibiki than what they try to do in the show and such. But yeah, so I like story wise. I like Blade King form, but I'm not really big on his form. Fi's Blaster, I just don't really care for as much, but I think he might be my favorite sound wise. And Armed Hibiki, it's really guilty of me and sad of me that I love his design and all, but his story was stupid. So I like him for his design. I like him for his sound. I like him for his story. So that's how I'm summarizing it. I know that's sad and all, but I'm a sad person in general. This is Power, and I'll leave you people. Bye.